Morning, good morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. It is Tuesday morning, April 26th. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk, where we get together 7 days a week. We chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note, hopefully getting your day informed on what's going on with Mother Nature. We've got quite a few things to chat about today, just like yesterday, just like the day. I feel like the world of weather never slows down. The top two things we're monitoring is building heat. Yesterday made it to 87 degrees in the metro area, and frankly, we're going to be even warmer today. We'll talk about that. And a cold front? What? Yeah, there's some interesting stuff, so you want to stay tuned because we're talking about that, and we're looking long range. We talked a little bit about this yesterday on Coffee Talk, but let's talk again about it. Long range forecast looking ahead to what may be an early kind of speed bump in the road when it comes to hurricane season. Interesting stuff. But first and foremost, let's look outside live. This is an absolutely beautiful shot out in the tourist district. There's Test Track. There's Spaceship Earth. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. A little hazy. Going to be a nice, comfortable morning for us. Looking ahead to temperatures, they feel great outside this morning. We're sitting at about 68 degrees in Orlando, 67 degrees in Sanford. Hold on. I need coffee after all. 65 degrees in DeLand. We're at 63 in Palm Coast and 67 in Daytona Beach. So it looks great. It feels great. When we compare temperatures right now to this time yesterday, less wind means cooler readings, especially in our eastern communities. We're 5 to 9 degrees cooler this morning than we were just this time yesterday because the winds have essentially died out. And as is such, as you'd imagine, we are looking nice on our first warning live Doppler radar. There is nothing to track. So where do we go from here? Let's take a look, shall we? Temperatures are climbing. Remember, we hit 87 yesterday. I believe that's it. We'll check. I believe it was 87. Today, we'll hit 86 by 1 o'clock, and we're going to continue to climb from there. 90 degrees our high temperature on the day today. Temperatures well above average. Average high is running about 85, 86 degrees, depending on your location. Just need to make sure I'm not going to run the dog over. Depending on your location. So it is going to be an above average day yet again today. What about neighborhood by neighborhood temps? That's a big one. Everybody wants to know, right? Oh, that's the wrong graphic. There we go. There's our afternoon highs today. 90 degrees in the city, beautiful. 90 degrees in Kissimmee. Sometimes the remote access system gets a little funky. 89 in the villages. Notice along the shoreline, still staying in the low to mid-range of the 80s. So your temperatures, not quite as hot, but you know, they're warm enough. So that's definitely something that we're going to be tracking today is a beautiful setup. And with today hitting 90, that would make today the 6th 90-degree day of the year. Last time we hit 90 was back on April 16th, so it's been 10 days, had a nice stretch of weather in the meantime. But yeah, today would mark the 6th 90-degree day of the year. So lots of outdoor activities around. There's the attractions and, of course, all of that jazz. It's going to be beautiful. 90 degrees by 3 p.m. That's kind of where we are headed today. Do want to mention that there is the mention of a few showers today, especially from about the metro area off to the west. We'll take a look at Futurecast, but basically, the further east you go, the lower the chance of rain. Sea breeze activity kind of going to try and get feistier today. So we'll see how that plays out. Here's Futurecast. 9, 10 o'clock, we're fine. We are looking great. There's lunchtime, still good. But notice by about 2, 3 o'clock, Futurecast trying to form up those sea breeze clouds. And of course, once that happens, you've got enough moisture. You just need to wait for an opportunity to see a couple of sea breeze showers. And you can kind of see the model showing a few out over the Ocala National Forest. Not a ton, but just a few showers around. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's okay. It's good. It's good. Moisture is on the increase, though, ahead of a cold front. Now, once the cold front passes, the muggy meter and dew point temperatures drop. Here's a look at it. Today, tomorrow, comfy in the humidity department, comfy in the muggy meter. But Thursday and Friday, the dew point temperatures drop. what's going on? Let's take a look at the overall pattern. For today, it is nice and hot, even nice and hot tomorrow, right up to the point where a cold front sweeps through. That cold front tomorrow will give us the opportunity to see a few additional showers, and then it sweeps out the hot and sweeps in comfier readings. So looking ahead to your Thursday, your Friday, and your Saturday, we do have some nicer temperatures right around the corner. Take a look, as a matter of fact. From today's 90 to tomorrow's 90 to 84 on Thursday and 85 on Friday. Yeah, cold front is coming. These late season cold fronts, they don't do a lot, but they do something. It's a 6-degree drop in temperatures. It's not massive, but it's the kind of thing that, look, I mean, cold fronts, a couple of months ago were dropping us into the 30s and 40s, right? And now we're talking about a subtle dip. And over the next couple of weeks, that subtle dip will go away, and we'll just be talking about warm temperatures for the duration. So we do need to enjoy what we've got. This late season front, it's not a lot, but it's what Mother Nature can afford, so we have to enjoy it, right? That's just the bottom line. Chris says, out with the hot, in with the not so hot. Exactly. I mean, it's not a massive thing, but it's a thing. And so we do need to try and at least take it. Why not? Let's take it for what it is. That's the way I look at it, at least. Good morning to you, Beverly. Good morning, Betty, Kim, Marie. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Yesterday was beautiful. Let's look at temperatures. Not record, by the way. I mentioned this on Sunrise. I don't think I mentioned it on Coffee Talk, but it's interesting because it's hot. Like 87 yesterday in Orlando, 87 in Sanford, 87 degrees in Leesburg. But not records at all, right? 93 in Sanford, 97 in Orlando. Those are records. Like, think about it. In 1908, I was just talking yesterday with our radio partners on Magic 107 about how did Florida exist when it was mosquitoes, alligators, and no air conditioning, I guess that's why they gave away just as much property as they could just to get people down here, right? I don't know. Vanessa, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Mickey over on YouTube, good morning. That's a cool looking mug. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is, every now and then I get a piece of Wesh swag. I'll take it. I don't get it all that often, but when I do, I'll take it. Becca, good morning. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. Wish we could bottle the 80s temps and sporadically release it in August. See, Susie, I always say that, and it's something just very funny to make fun of. Right? Like, bottle this up. You're gonna miss it in the summertime. That's stupid, but, the overall idea is there. All right, so surf today, 2 to 3 feet. Seas for the boaters running about 3 to 4. It's a longer period swell. Moderate risk of rip currents. Water temperatures coming up about a degree or two over the last couple of days, and that's going to continue to trend in that direction more and more, of course, because right around the corner, we know right around the corner is hurricane season. 38 days to the beginning of hurricane season. Oh, so fun. So great. A reminder, by the way, the list of hurricane names, since we're talking. First name would be Alex. We've had many early season storms, and I do want to point out to you, since we're into this topic for just a moment. If you've watched a long time, I am absolutely not the kind of guy that hypes, okay? I try to shoot it to you straight. I try to give you the absolute most correct information. But earlier this year, of course, we released our 2022 hurricane season forecast. That is available on wesh.com and the Wesh 2 mobile app. All you have to do is click on the Hurricanes tab, and it's right there. Or just do a Google search for Wesh 2 2022 hurricane season forecast. Anyway, that forecast consisted of landfall hotspots where the weather patterns favor. We've got our main hotspots. The number one hotspot this year is Florida. The secondary hotspot is the Carolinas. And then following that, we also have a secondary area, which is the Northeast United States, and a secondary area of like Texas and Louisiana. Anyway, so this is the predominant locations. We then broke it down on pieces of weather patterns. And if you're not familiar with that, these are the storm systems that emanated that gave us our long-range forecast? Well, come mid-May, the November 6th part of the pattern is going to cycle through. That is the Floreaster, okay? The November 6th part of the pattern, mid-May, cycles through. Is it tropical in nature? Is it not tropical in nature? We don't know yet. Okay, it's too early to tell, but I do want to make sure that you're aware of it, because come mid-May, if we look at our calendar, our long-range calendar here, come mid-May. Now, Mother's Day weekend, there's the October 24th storm system. That's not a threat to us, so it's not even hardly worth a mention. But it is something, we could look at the computer models together and see if that's playing out. But it's really like November 17th that November 6th part of the pattern, if we look at my forecast for it, those are the kind of coastal areas that I highlighted mid-May, November 17th. If we look at the BSR, okay, so this is using the LRC technique in the long-range forecasting palette. We can then check our work using the BSR. This stands for the Bering Sea Rule. The overall idea here is that we look at the weather up in the northern Pacific, and it actually is a teleconnection to the weather here in the United States. And what we've done is we've overlaid the map of the United States there so that you can kind of get an idea, okay? So what you're looking at there on screen, let me get my days correct here. Stand by. So that's the 16th of May that you're looking at. And I want you to look at this little dip right in here, okay? This little dip right in here. That is a very weak little trough of low pressure. See how that little dip is approaching the Florida Peninsula? That's the 16th. Little dip, lower pressure over Florida into the 17th, and then it kind of moves off. So the 16th into the 17th, you've got a little subtle storm system crossing the peninsula. This is the most recent run of the GFS, so we're way out there. But the fact of the matter is that it's showing up on the BSR. We're now using, what's kind of interesting is we've always shown the BSR using past data in the Pacific, but now what we're doing is we're teleconnecting the actual computer model data in the Pacific to take it more than 2 weeks out. I mean, think about it. What I'm showing you is a model of the BSR there, and that, you're talking, here we are, today's April 26th. We're talking 3 weeks out, and we're kind of showing an idea of what that's going to look like. So that would be the Floreaster part of the weather pattern, for those of you that keep track of that sort of thing, the November 6th part of the weather pattern. And if we show you previous versions of it, here it is in November 6th, kind of pulling away from Florida. Here's January 13th. You can kind of see that blow up pulling away, but look at what it did on November 6th in terms of radar. It brought plenty of rain. That's November 6th. And then if we look at January 10th, it brought, a nice batch of rainfall right there. It kind of helped to fire up some storms. So again, this little part of the weather pattern is definitely something that we'll have to watch. And that is kind of, to me, that is the first indicator of hurricane season, okay? That is the first, heads up, friends. There may be something to watch here. All right, so that's November 6th, recycling May 16th and 17th. It's there on the BSR. We'll have to see. Now, for those of you wondering, that's October 24th storm system. That's around Mother's Day weekend. Let's look at what it was, and then let's look at the computer models and see if it's picking it up. So November 6th through the 8th, that's Mother's Day weekend-ish. The October 24th storm system. What is the October 24th storm system? All right, let's just dive a little deeper. It was a storm system that developed off of the east coast of Florida and kind of rode up the shoreline. Now, I've highlighted the Northeast because if it were to make an impact, that would be the zone that it would impact. Most of its cycles have stayed offshore, but I do want to point out that this is, this is something that we'll have to watch. So October 24th, 5th, and 6th. Here it is. You can really see that moisture bubbling up there and then starting to lift north. Big storm right there. You see that comma shape kind of bubbling up. And then it started to get kicked northbound, okay? So that's the November 24th, 25th, and 26th storm system as it lifted to the north. All right, so what are its recycle times? Its recycle times would be early to mid-July and September. Now, I didn't list the May version on here because I don't think that that's going to be tropical in nature. This is strictly the tropical forecast. This is more of my, calendar of things to watch. So, storm system riding up the East Coast, kind of near the northeastern United States, May 6th, 7th, and 8th. Let's look. Stand by 2 seconds. Hold on 1 second. Stand by. I have to move this over. There's that. Bear with me. I know. There's that. There's that. Stand by. Tropics. Okay. Need to sign in. I apologize, everybody, by the way. Anybody anything about Chopper 2? What do you mean Chopper 2 down? I see a push alert that a chopper went down. But I don't see it. I don't see anything about it being Chopper 2. Thanks for the updates, Marie says. Of course. My pleasure. I'm grateful that you guys and gals care about this, if I'm 100% honest. Let's do United States view. Okay, so there's the U.S. view. And what we're going to look at together, this is going to be the GFS. And what were the dates on that again? I want to just double check this. Bear with me. Okay, May 6th through the 8th, the Northeast. So let's look. I'm going to scroll this so you can see the timestamp on the top right. May 6th through the 8th. So let's watch and just see how this plays out, shall we? Oh, I don't want cumulative. I want 6-hour rain. May 6th through the 8th. It's going to take a while, so I'm grabbing my coffee. It may be this storm system right here that it's kind of showing a little early, trying to initialize on it. Surface, pressure, normalized anomaly. Yeah, maybe that storm system that it's trying to initialize on. Actually, there's a little tail. If you look here, hold on. If I do oceanic... Not that. Oceanic. I'm trying to get an oceanic Atlantic basin. Okay, there we go. I guess that's going to be the best. So if you look, there's a little tail out here that's lifting up. I would guess that that's it right there. But again, it stays off the shoreline, but that will recycle eventually, and that will recycle around. So that's our May forecast. That's kind of our May calendar of things to watch. And then we get into June, and June is obviously going to be where things start to get a little busier. We'll have to watch that more subtle pattern, that more subtle feature there. That would be June 6th through 7th. And again, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. This week in particular, let me just tell you, June 22nd through that weekend, that's going to be a busy tropical week, especially the 24th, 25th, 26th, because that's going to be the October 11th storm system. And the October 11th storm system, just so that you know, That was a storm system that formed off our east coast and got awful close to the Florida peninsula. If you look at it on the satellite imagery, that's October. You know, you can kind of make out that counterclockwise spin, and then it's just brewing up storms. The December version was a bit weaker, but if you look closely, you can kind of make out a swirl kind of taking shape, right? You see it right there? So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, that October 11th part of the pattern. And if we look at how that plays into our long-range forecast, that's definitely going to be an East Coast something to watch, okay? Late June, definitely something we'll have to watch. Yeah. All right. Have I done the August forecast yet? Yes. So that's June. Let's just go through everything. There's your June. Again, the end of the month, definitely going to be a time frame we'll have to watch here in Florida. If we look at July, my friends, okay, the good news is that Independence Day is looking fine for us. And remember, other storm systems can develop. Other storms, you know, these are not guarantees. These are just showing where the patterns should try and hold things. Late July, the 20th, 21st, that's when that Floreaster cycles through. And I think that that's kind of a peak Floreaster pattern right there. Remember, the idea here is every other cycle gets a little stronger. So that's going to be the peak Floreaster one. So late July, we'll have to, you know, kind of mid to late July, that 20th through the 21st, we're absolutely going to have to watch that. And then looking at August, you were asking about, who was asking about August? Somebody did, and I missed the comment, and I apologize. Kelly. Eric, have you done the August forecast yet? There you go. So I think for us, it's late August, that 26th, 27th, 28th. That's going to be the time frame that we're going to have to watch very, very closely, because that is a storm system. That's that October 11th, once again, that will cycle around and kind of be in the vicinity. So again, what we're looking at here, all said and done, this is all a part of our WESH 2 2022 hurricane season forecast. It is available online. It is a 6-minute read, I believe, and there's a 45-minute coffee talk embedded in there, okay? You're asking about September, Jessica. There you go. There's September. Late September 21st, 22nd. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be the last Floreaster. That's going to definitely be one to watch. I think, if I'm honest with you, I think the Floreaster is going to be the signature part of the pattern. So that's definitely going to be something that we'll be watching, okay? All of these forecast products, WESH 2's hurricane season forecast, we release them on March 1st every year. That's our date that we release our hurricane season forecast, okay? So for what it's worth, it's all available online on wesh.com. I'll show you how to get to it. Wesh.com. All you do on wesh.com is you click the little thing in the top left. You scroll down to weather. And there's a hurricane section. I don't know why it's not showing up. I know there's a hurricane section. I don't know why it didn't show up on here. Because I didn't scroll far enough. Below weather, you have hurricanes. Okay? On the hurricane section, the good news is we've got this hurricane threat meter. No current threats. That's great. But if you look in the bottom right corner, this is what you're looking for. The WESH 2 2022 hurricane season forecast, okay? And then on there, you can see we got it published at 8:34 on March 1st. All right, and it's got the full text write-up, okay? And I could tell you, the only thing that I'm ever going to change is the top line where it says, hurricane season is right around the corner. That's the only thing that I'm ever going to change. I promise you that. But it gets into all of our forecasting. It gets into all of it. Like I said, it's like a 6-minute read. But on top of all of that, there's a lot of data. On top of all of that, you've got the coffee talk from that date where Jeremy Nelson and I... I'm going to bring it to full screen, but Jeremy, you and I can just chat about it. Jeremy Nelson and I chatted all about the hurricane season forecast that day. So it's all available, free of charge. We get the whole write-up, okay? So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. I know, nerd stuff. Kristen, did the Florester affect our coast? Absolutely. It brought us a big chill, but it was a big storm. I mean, if you look at the Florester, I mean, look at look at the rain that it generated. That's the radar archive from November 6th. Yeah, it was a wet weather pattern for us. So yes, it absolutely did. All right. Did I see that Levi's getting married? I did. I saw his proposal. I loved it. I loved it. All right. Enough about hurricane season, people. We are not there yet. But, you know, I do want to make sure you know about it. One thing also, while we're talking about hurricane season, I got this idea directly from you on Coffee Talk. I'm doing my long range forecast. My second story I'm doing is about evacuation. Because so many people are new to Central Florida. Are you new to Central Florida? I want to talk to you. I'm doing a big evacuation story because so many people are new. How does it work? When should I evacuate? That sort of thing. So I'm working on hurricanes, on our hurricane special. We'll be airing that around the beginning of hurricane season. But our goal is to make sure you and your family are prepared. Okay? That's the big deal. That is the big deal. So we'll be working on that. But that's why I put out this long-range hurricane forecast. It's ideas. It's not set in stone. Last year, I think we had a 75% accuracy rate. Out of all the storms, 75% of them fit into our weather pattern. For being months and months and months ahead of time, I'd say that's a win. I would love to do better this year. We'll see. But, you know, I've spent so much time on the hurricane forecast. It's kind of my passion project, and I'm so grateful that you guys and gals care, and I thank you for that. Truth be told. So at any rate, that's where we're at. Florida, hotspot number 1 this year. You know, the way that I always look at it is I have Band-Aids in my house in case I get cut. I don't want to get cut and then not have a Band-Aid. AKA, let's just be ready for hurricane season because, like it or not, it is around the corner. Okay? That's all, friends. That's all. Shannon says, hurricane prep. Be sure to crate train your dog because evacuation locations require the dogs to be in crates. It's a good point. Chris says, not just newbies, also those with life changes thought. It's true. That's a good point. Yeah. People need to know about shelters. Take a bed with you, snacks, bring games for kids, medication, all of those things. All right? All right, that's all I got. Today, couple of showers, especially west of town. Otherwise, it's a hot day. 90 degrees our high temperature. 90 for tomorrow, though a frontal boundary will bring in a few additional showers. Then for our Thursday and our Friday, a couple of showers here or there. Then rain chances going up Saturday, Sunday, Monday as the temperatures also go up. And by the way, let me just double check. The models last week were hinting at, the models are saying next week, low to mid 90s. Gross. Okay? So we've got some heat ahead of us. All right, we're going to talk more about that. We'll also talk about the rainy season. What exactly triggers the rainy season? How does that play out? That will be on this afternoon's Afternoon Coffee Talk. We get together 5 days a week during the weekdays to update you on that, all right? Be there or be square, 3:30 this afternoon. You can check in on that and get updates on where our weather conditions are going. But for the meantime, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you guys and gals this afternoon at 3:30.